there is this emperor called Emperor Claudius, and there's another priest, a Catholic priest called Valentine. So if you have not heard about the story before, it's a good thing to know about it. And if you have heard about it, that means it's going to serve as a reminder to you. So during this time, this Emperor Claudius II, he did something. He banned marriages because he thought that the people that can fight well in the soldier are the young people that are not married, singles. So at that point in time, he banned marriages, and it was prohibited for anybody to get married at that time, especially single young men. So this, on the other hand, this priest called Priest Valentine was still holding marriages for people secretly. So at the end of the day, Emperor Claudius got to know, and he arrested the priest Valentine. So when he arrested him so that he would stop conducting marriages for young people, because he need them in his soldier. He need them to fight battles for him. So when he arrested Valentine, that did not stop Valentine from doing the good work that he was always doing, which is why today is known as the Day of Love. So Saint Valentine healed the jailer's daughter, the person that jailed him. His daughter was sick, and Saint Valentine also healed her. So at a certain point in time, when it got to February 14th, this Saint Valentine was killed. After his arrest, he was killed. And before he was killed, he wrote a letter to the jailer's daughter. And also at that point in time, he converted the people that were in the jail, including the jailer's daughter. He converted them to a Christian. So at the end of the day, after that period, that day that he was killed was known as Valentine's Day. And that is why we have today as the February 14th, being celebrated all over the world as Valentine's Day, a day to share love amongst ourselves. Now, as teenagers, we may have heard a lot of things about Valentine. That is the story behind it. And talking about love, we'll be talking about different kinds of love. But before I talk about it, I want us to get our notebooks so that we can jot down whatever points. You may not be able to jot everything down, but at least you can pick points that will be useful for you in the nearest future. Now, can anybody tell me, just give me a brief definition about love? Is there anybody that can tell me? If you can speak, speak. If you cannot speak, just write it, just type it, so that I can just, so that we can share your idea. It will not be as if I'm the only one talking. Can anybody tell us the meaning of love? What does love mean to you? What do you mean by love? If you are going outside and somebody asks you what is love, what are you going to tell them? What is love? Can you just give a brief definition? Anybody? Okay, so not to waste much of our time, if nobody is talking, let me just give you a brief definition about love. Love is a strong feeling of affection, attachment, and caring towards something, towards somebody. So you can show an affection to a fellow human being. You can show affection to yourself. You can even show affection to things or a place. Maybe you love going to a place. It may even be your school. Yes, the section is recorded. It's being recorded. So as I was saying, love is about showing affection to someone, thank you. I can see a definition here. Love is a deep affection for someone else. Yes, it can be for someone else. It can even be to yourself. Show yourself love. You can show a place love. You may love your school. You may love going to a place. You can show love. You can show deep affection to anything. Do you understand? So love is about showing care, showing love to somebody. And we have there are several ways by which we can express love. Like today, that is a Valentine Day, people believe in exchanging gifts, showing it to people that, okay, I love you, I give you this gift. We can even show it to our parents. We can show it to our friends that, okay, have this as a show of love, as a show of we are celebrating Valentine today, so it's like a day of exchanging gifts. Do you understand? So we can show love in a different way. We can even show love by caring for somebody, showing deep affection to them, that I care about you and I love you. So there are different ways by which we can show love. We can show love to people around us, to friends, to families. So we'll be looking at the different kinds of love that we have. The psychologists and philosophers, they came up with different kinds of love. And number one is eros, that is romantic love. That romantic love is something that is between a husband and wife, not a teenager. It's not to be practiced by a teenager. Are you getting it? So it's a show of romantic love between a husband and a wife. The kind of love that mommy and daddy shares is eros. It's called eros. And it is a romantic love, not a love that is shared between a teenager and their friends. Do we understand? Another one is touch. That is like a familiar love, a love that is showed amongst family members, a love that you can show to your father, to your mother, to your siblings, maybe to your cousins, to your nephews. That is what we call a storge love. That is what we call a storge love. That is a love that is being shared amongst family members. Another one is agape love. Agape love is an unconditional love, a love that you are not expecting anything in return. You are just showing love to people generally. Do you understand? This is a general love that you can even show to somebody that you don't know. For example, maybe there is somebody that is that you just met and the person needs your help. This is the kind of love you show to the person. Agape love, an unconditional love. You are not expecting anything in return from that person. You can show kindness to somebody. Maybe somebody is about to fall down, or somebody is carrying an heavy load. You can decide to show an agape love to that person by helping the person or being empathetic to the person. That is what we call agape love. Another love that we'll be looking at is pragma love. That is an enduring love, a love that you show to somebody that you have known for a very, very long time, a love that does not wear out, a love that does not wear out. Whether the person is doing good to you or not, is an enduring love. Is a love that you show that lasts over a period of time. Another one is philautia love, which is self-love, loving yourself. When you love others, you need to love yourself also. You cannot afford to love other people more than you are showing love to yourself. You need to love yourself. You need to care for yourself. At the end of the day, when you show love to others and you don't show love to yourself, you are not fulfilled. You are not fulfilled. You need to show yourself love. You need to show yourself care. While you care for others, you should also care for yourself. You should also love yourself. You should love how God has created you. You should love the way you do things. You should love everything about yourself. Then you now show love to others too. So that is self-love. However, we must be careful so that this self-care, this self-love will not lead to what we call selfishness. Because there are times that when you love yourself too much, you may not be able to care for others. Everything will just be about you. If something is not going your way, even though you know that that thing is at the detriment of others, maybe it's something that you know that is going to affect other people negatively, and you are saying that, yeah, it's because I love myself. No, your kind of self-love should not be something that will show negative impact, that will have negative impact on other people. So while caring for yourself as a teenager, you must also care for other people. And when you are showing love to yourself, your self-care, your self-love should not turn to selfishness. Are we with me? I want us to type in the chat box. Let me see if you are following me. Let me see if you understand what I'm talking about. So we are still on philautia love. Somebody is asking what is happening here. We are talking about love. This is a webinar for teenagers where we are talking about love, lust, and crush, which is something that all of us is staring at us at the face now. Some of our teenagers don't know about love, about lust, and about crush, and that is what we are discussing. I hope you understand, Elizabeth. Thank you, Titi Lokpe. I can see the way you are typing. I can see you are following me. I want others to join in the conversation. So another love that we'll talk about is mania, obsessive love. When you are too obsessed with something, there are some people that are so obsessed with maybe a friend or something that at the end of the day, that thing is to their own detriment. They lost themselves in loving somebody. When you love somebody too much that, in fact, when other people are talking to that person, you are angry. You don't want that person to be friends with other people. That is an obsessive love, and that is a love that you will that can be at your own detriment or at the detriment of others. You are not even doing that person good. The person you are being obsessive with, or maybe it's something that you are being obsessive with, you are not doing that thing good. You are not doing that person any good, because when you are obsessive with something, it can lead to a damage. So everything, whatever we do in life, should come with moderacy. We should be moderate in whatever you are doing, in professing love to people, in loving ourselves and everything. We must be everything must be in moderation. It must not lead to obsession, because obsession can damage you. It can damage the person you are obsessed with, or the thing you are obsessed with, and it can also damage other people around us. So we should be able to manage the way we relate, the way we love other people. Now, there are some types of love that I mentioned that we as teenagers, I want to believe that it's teenagers that are here. So that we as teenagers must not show to other people. Like the number one I mentioned, eros. That is romantic love. Romantic love is not meant for a teenager now, because there is time and season for everything in life. If you start involving yourself in a romantic love now, it has negative consequences. It has consequences that you don't want such things to happen to you now. Therefore, you must be able to define the kind of love you are showing towards people, or that people are showing towards you. Do we understand? I want us to chat. Just put I understand or I'm with you in the chat box. I want to see that I'm with you. So yes, mania love is obsessive love. Thank you very much. So as I was saying, that eros love, which is romantic love, is not meant for your age now. It's not meant for a teenager, because it has consequences that you are not ready for now. It has consequences. And what are the consequences? The consequences are it can lead to unwanted pregnancy. You don't want to be pregnant while in secondary school. Even while in higher institution, you want to finish up with your education before you get pregnant, before you get involved in those kind of love. It can even lead to STDs. STDs are sexually transmitted disease. As a teenager, you don't need that now. Therefore, you must be able to define the kind of love you show to others and the kind of love that others show to you. Why? Because you don't want unwanted pregnancy. You don't want STDs. Another consequences of this kind of love is that you lost yourself. You lost yourself because you want to please that person. You want to please that partner that you are being involved with in romantic love. You lost yourself, you lost your identity, which you don't want to happen to you at this stage of your life. Therefore, you as a teenager must set priorities. By the time somebody is asking you out, maybe an elderly person, because there are some elderly persons that you will be attracted to as a lady or as a boy, you may be attracted to them, but you have to set boundaries. You have to let them know that at this stage of my life, what I need to face is my studies, is my academics. I'm not ready for a romantic relationship with anybody, because there is time and season for everything in life. So you don't want to lose yourself to a relationship. You don't want unwanted pregnancy. You don't want STDs. You don't want somebody to control you while you are still under your parents. Therefore, you must be able to define it. You must be able to define your relationship with everybody. I have said it that the kind of love you have to somebody is not something that you don't want to be obsessed with somebody. This kind of romantic love can lead to obsession, and you don't want to be in that space as a teenager now. As a teenager now, what you should face is your studies. What you should face is building morals. If you want to build morals, then you don't involve yourself in a romantic relationship at this point in your life. Are we getting it? If you are getting it, I want you to put "I understand" or "I'm with you" in the chat box so that I can know that you are really following me. Definitely, your emotions are real. Your emotions are very real. You can have emotions, but you must be able to control yourself. You must be able to control your emotions. And as a teenager, whatever is going on with you, you should be able to tell an adult in your life, maybe your parents or maybe elderly people that you know that, okay, this one has my interest at that. If you are feeling anything, you can be able to talk to them so that they can advise you. Because there are many things on the internet. There are many things that you see in school. Your friends in school, you don't know the kind of parents they have. You don't know the kind of things they are exposed to. So when they are doing something wrong, it is your own responsibility as a good friend to be able to talk to them that this thing you are doing is not right. The major thing for us to face now is our education and to build morals. We need to build our attitude. We need to build morals. We need to set, thank you very much, Mary. Thank you very much. You need to set boundaries. You need to be able to define the kind of love that somebody is expressing to you and the kind of love that you are expressing to somebody. When you see that, and you need to be able to speak out that your emotions. If you are feeling that, okay, this person is becoming obsessed with me, you need to let the person know. You need to talk about it so that the person will know and the person will apply caution. You yourself as a teenager, you need to apply caution. Whatever discussion that is not revolving around your studies, about building character, about being good children, about being the best in your class, then you should not be found in that kind of discussion. You should not be found in that kind of space. So when you have a friend, that don't let somebody influence you negatively. Rather, you as a good child or as a good teenager that has a purpose in life, you should be able to influence other people to become the best, to become better in whatever you are doing. Not that you'll be involved in that kind of love that is not allowed or is not permitted at this stage of your life. Do we understand? Do we understand what I'm saying? So we need to be able to set boundaries and we need to be able to influence others positively instead of they influencing you negatively. And as a teenager, like I said, you have another kind of love that you show to your friends, that people will know that, okay, yes, this is my friend and this is a very close friend to me, because you cannot call everybody. So because you cannot call everybody your friend in school, but the main thing for all of us to do is to be able to express the agape love to everybody that is around us. Let them know that this is a kind of unconditional love that God has allowed everybody to be able to show towards each and every one of us, wherever we go, whenever we are outside, wherever we find ourselves, amongst our neighbors, amongst our friends in school, even amongst teachers. And like I said, You should set priorities, you should set boundaries, you should apply caution at every point in time. Don't allow anybody to corrupt you. And there are some things that can trigger you to be in a romantic relationship with somebody. Avoid them. Avoid watching things that will influence you negatively. Avoid watching them. Maintain your status as a teenager, as an example, as a role model to other children, so that in your school, when they are talking about good teenagers or children that are well behaved, you'll be number one, and you can be a role model to your friends and to your families. And one thing you should know is that at every point in time, this kind of love we show outside define our relationship with others. You must always express it wherever you are, with whatever you do or wherever you go to. The kind of love you express must be defined, like the one we said you show to your family members, the one you show to your friends, the general one, which is agape love, and the ones to avoid, which is a romantic love at this stage of your life. What you should express to others is agape love and move on with your life. I hope we understand what I'm saying. So put it in the chat box if you understand what we have just discussed about love and how to express love. Thank you very much. About how to express love and how to be able to show love to others around us without having to be in a romantic relationship with either an opposite sex or even the same sex as you, because we found out that in these days it's not only opposite sex that are involved in romantic love, even people of the same sex. You must be able to avoid that as somebody that has a purpose to fulfill in life, because for those who are involved in that kind of thing, they don't have a purpose to fulfill in life. But because you have a purpose to fulfill in life and you want to serve as a role model to other people, then you must be able to define your relationship with everybody and apply caution when it is necessary. Another thing you should be able to do is to be able to trust the adults, like your parents. Whatever you are feeling, you can talk to them and they will be able to guide you, because they know better and they have experienced whatever you may be experiencing now, whatever you may be going through now. Know that your parents have experienced it before. They didn't just grow up to be an adult. They also went through the stage of being a teenager. So they have more experience than you. So that is where I'll be ending my lecture this evening. So we'll have more time after the other coaches must have spoken to us about the other topics to ask questions. So if you have questions concerning this my session, you can write it down so that by the time we give room for questions and answer, then you can be able to ask your question and we'll be able to give answers to it. So thank you, everybody. That is the end of my lecture this evening. Thank you so much. So I hand over to Coach Deborah. Coach Deborah.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, Ma. Thank you so much for that. Good evening, everyone. Can we hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, and I believe others too can hear you.
All right, beautiful. Good evening, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to us. So good to be here. Yes, I want to see our comments. I want some teenagers in the house too. I want to hear our voices before I go on. If anybody can unmute, yes, we can unmute our mics and just say, good evening, my name is so, and I'm here and stuff like that. I just want to hear like two or three of us voices before I move forward.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Yes.
Good evening, Ma.
My name
Good
is
evening. Who is greeting me? I want to know. I want to hear your names. Please tell me your name.
my name is Motorayo.
Motsunrayo. Wow. Motsunrayo, good evening. Happy Valentine. Who is speaking to me again?
Good
Abigail, ma.
evening, ma.
Abigail. Wow. I have some powerful people in the house. Okay, so my name is Deborah Adeyeye, aka Coach D. Anyone you like, you can call me. So yes, I'll be talking about lost. I'll be talking about lost. Now, if I want to hear from us, have you heard the word lost before? If this is your first time, just drop it in the comment section. If this is your first time, maybe just say, I've not heard of it before. Maybe I've heard of the word before and I don't know the meaning. Yes, I will appreciate our responses. Yes, I'm waiting for our responses. I like I like people talking in my class. Yes. Yes, I want to see our comments that, okay, I've heard the word lost before, but I don't know the meaning. Or I've heard the word lost before and I know the meaning, either of it. Okay, no, ma. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, no problem about that. I can see someone else is typing. Let me just wait. So I hope, like Coach Biodun asked us, I believe that we are with our writing materials because we are here to learn online. And okay, I have heard of the word before and I just know a little about it. Okay, beautiful. So welcome everyone. Welcome. And I want us to appreciate, I want wherever you are, just clap for your parents. That's mommy, thank you for enrolling me for this training. Yes, you may say, okay, it's free, but some people saw the flyer and they did not even click on it, despite the fact that it's free. So we need to appreciate mommy or daddy because, for enrolling, for enrolling us for this course. Sorry, I'm saying course. I'm used to course. All right. So thank you, mommy. Thank you, daddy. If you are hearing my voice, Coach D is saying a very big thank you to us. All right. So let's move on without wasting much of our time. So I'm talking about lost. So lost now, like someone said, she has heard of it before, but she just knows little about it. So lost is a strong feeling, right? They talk about love. And we're talking about loss. And I remember that Coach Biodun said love is also a strong feeling. So I'm going to explain that how come love and loss is kind of having the same definition. Don't worry. I'm here for you. So loss is a strong feeling of desire, often related. Now look at this. Often related to, sex or physical attraction. Now this is all loss has to do with. Is about sex or physical attraction. Now I'm going to explain to us. Now, when talking about loss, I have here that when talking about loss, the key word is bow. I'm going to explain BOW, bow, because there is a pressure. When you're talking about loss, there is a pressure. You have to say, I'm feeling pressured. Yes, there is a pressure to bow to those strong, like that desire. There is a pressure. You are feeling pressure that, there is a, so that's why I said that the key word is bow. When we are talking about loss, the key word is bow. Why? Because there is a pressure, there is a pressure to succumb. There's a pressure to bow, to that feeling that, this, we have this word, we call it urge. That there's the pressure to bow to that urge. I'm going to explain better. Now I'm going to tell us a story which is going to set the pace. I'm going to tell us a story which is going to set the pace. And it's the story of Amnon and Tamar. Apologies to the non-Christians, but Amnon and Tamar, because this story better explains it for me. So Amnon and Tamar. Now there is a man called Amnon, and there is a lady or a girl called Tamar. Now, Tamar was a virgin. She was a virgin. And then Amnon was her stepbrother. In those days, they are permitted, you can, according to their culture or tradition, you can marry your stepbrother or stepsister in those days. Take note of the word in those days, not now. In those days. So you can marry your stepbrother or your stepsister. So this is where I'm heading to. So Amnon began to feel, a strong feeling of desire. I don't want to say lost, a strong feeling of desire towards Tamar. Now, note that Tamar was a virgin. So he began to feel a strong feeling of desire towards this babe or this girl, as we usually say it. So he was feeling this strong desire. At the course of it, he now had a friend, which was his cousin, that said, hey, so I'm going to first say here that be careful of who you give your ears to. Be careful of who you give your ears to. Be careful of who you listen to. Right? Be careful. Be careful of who you listen to. Be careful of who you listen to. Be careful of who you give your ears to. It's very important. Type it in the comment section that be careful of who you give your ears to, because who you listen to is very, very important. Who you take advice from is very, very, very important. Some advice can destroy one's life, and some advice can amend one's life. So be careful what you take in, from this, because the eyes, there are two gates. I don't know if I'm rushing, just let me know. There are two gates, the eyes and the ears. The eye is a gate and the ear is a gate. So you have to, there's, gates now. Yeah, so you have to determine who enters and who goes out. What goes out and what comes in. You have two. You have the power to control what goes out and what comes in. So I'm going to go further. So Amnon gave his ears to his cousin. And the cousin was like, guy, I'm trying to gist us the story. Hey, you are lost in, you are having this strong feeling of desire. Mind you, in the eyes of Tamar, of Amnon, he may feel like, he loves his sister. So like, you are loving, you are here. Because Amnon began to feel sick. That, hey, because of this strong feeling of desire towards his sister, he began to feel sick. So he was like, so his cousin was like, hey, you are here. You are wallowing in this. Come on, do this and this. So he began to give him strategy. He began to give him corny strategy. He began to give him some strategies that is not meant to be. Say, do it like this, just deceive her, call her that she should come and make food for you in your place. When she comes, then you now take over. So I'm going to explain. So when he now obeyed, you see, that's why I said, be careful what you give your ears to, right? Be careful. So Amnon listened to his cousin. He listened to his cousin, and then he truly invited Tamar. Innocent Tamar now. She's a virgin, innocent. When your brother call you, won't you answer? It's a normal thing. So she went. And then when Tamar got there, right? When Tamar got there, she now prepared the food as they have arranged, as they have connived. She prepared the food, and then she now gave it to him. And she was about to leave. Then her stepbrother, Amnon, raped her. Yes, he raped her. So immediately, this was somebody now. That's not even where I'm going to. It's not even the case of the rape I'm talking about now. I'm going to tell us what happened next. This Amnon was like, okay, he was in love. He was in love, right? I'll say, I'm in love. Okay, he was in love. So I will now tell you the difference between love and lust. He claimed that he was in love with this girl. Strong feeling of desire, right? And he raped her. Now, it did not end here. Immediately he slept with Tamar. Immediately he slept with Tamar. He hated her. So let's think about it in a minute. Let's just think about it together. But this Amnon said he loved this girl now. Immediately he slept with her. He hated her immediately. Just to show you the motive of his heart, to show you the motive of his mind, that the end point of that desire was actually hatred. So, there's this way they say, this guy loves me. All this crush. We're going to talk, Trisha is going to talk about crush. I don't want to go there. So they say, this guy loves me. This guy is in love with me. Are you sure he's in love with you? Now, we're going to go there. So I'm going to tell us characteristics of lust. But I just have to bring out that story so that we can now begin to see practically what lust is. So he hated that. Immediately just slept with her. He hated that. That is to show you that the love that he claimed to have, or that strong feeling of desire, was towards something, right? And we said sex or what? Physical attraction. So we saw where the Amnon and Tamar own ended. So now, characteristics of love is that the first one is intense desire. Yes, intense desire. So, before I even go there, You know, we are talking about feelings, emotions. Now, I want to say this, that your emotions are, when you have this feeling or emotions, it shows you are okay. You're having a feeling of love towards somebody because you're a love being. So it shows that you are actually okay. It is not wrong, right? It is what you do with that feeling. Where that you allow that feeling to lead you to, that is what determines if it is wrong or right. But to have that feeling of love towards somebody, towards your parent, like we have explained, different type of love, like that, and all. So it is actually right. But there's this strong feeling of desire. It is actually, you can have, you can have such strong feeling of desire, but it is what you do with that feeling, where it leads you to, that determines whether it is now wrong or right. Now I'm going to explain better. You will see what I'm saying. Now, intense desire, the first characteristic of lust is intense desire. Lust is characterized by a strong feeling, a strong, often overwhelming desire for physical intimacy or sex. Now, if this, for instance, we're talking about eros, romantic love. If this is happening between, of course, this lust is characterized by a strong what? Is a strong what? Often overwhelming desire. Is an overwhelming desire for what? Physical intimacy or sex. Now, between married couples, if this kind of feeling is coming up, it is not wrong. That's why I said what? It is not wrong. But as a single, as a teenager, as an adolescent, as a preteen, it is now what you do with this. Because you ask yourself that at this time, do you need this type of what? Physical intimacy. You don't need it. We don't need it. I'm not married, so we don't need it. Yes, we don't need it. Because it is for what? Strictly for what? Married people. It's not even for adults. Yes, you say it's for adults. No, it's not for adults. It's for married people. Because I'm saying it's not for children. It's actually for married people. So let's ask ourselves, this feeling of intense desire, do I need it now? Am I married? Right? As I said, it's not wrong. It is what you do with that feeling that now determines. If it is between married couple, of course, they are legalized to, they've done the marital rights and all, and then yes, they are licensed too. But as teenagers, you don't need it. And there is one of the wisest man that ever lived in his time says that do not awaken love until it pleases. That is, there is a time to love. Coach Biodu was saying something that there's time for everything. Yes, there is time for everything. There's a time to love. There is time for everything. There is a time for this type of love that we're explaining now. There is a time for it. So don't awaken love until it pleases, because when you are awakening love, at the wrong time, it has consequences, it has effects. It has consequences. When you are awakening love at the wrong time, it has consequences. Are we together now? I hope we're following. All right, so I said intense desire like this, character often was overwhelming desire for physical intimacy or sex. If this intense desire that is under lust is between married couples, it's not wrong. They are licensed, they are legalized, right? So it is not wrong. But teenagers, no. Adolescents, no. Young adults that are not married, it is for married people. Married people. Like I said, I'm single, I'm not married. So it is for what? Married people. Now, the second one is what? Physical attraction. Characteristics of lust. Don't forget that we're talking about characteristics of lust. Physical attraction. Now, lust is often driven by physical attraction, focusing on the person's appearance. Now, this is lust. Focusing on the person's appearance, body, or what? Sensual qualities. This is what lust focuses on. Physical attraction. So you say, this boy, hey, he's my spec. That's what we used to say now. They say, he's my spec. He's doing me gish. Right? So he's my spec. That's what we hear now. He's my spec. What is the meaning of spec? Like, even when I was growing up, when I was a teenager then too. Like I say, I cannot, what's my own? Now I know better. So I'm like, what's my own? Right? You say, I cannot marry short people. That's physical attraction. Right? Physical attraction. So lust. What's my own? Even if it's tall, as a teenager, what's my own? So that's why I can relate with those feeling of gish that is happening with teenagers now. Right? Because those feelings are right. But it is what you do with those feelings, where those feelings lead you to. So he said, he's my spec. Tall, dark, and handsome. I know some people are already smiling. I cannot marry somebody that is ugly. Those kind of things. Right? Lust has to do with physical attraction. Physical what? Attraction. The person's appearance, the person's body, or sensual qualities. So we have to be careful. Right? We have to be careful. That's another characteristic of lust. It deals with majorly the physical appearance. Another one is what? Short-term focus. Now, I'll tell you the focus, the short-term and the focus there. This means that lust tends to focus on short-term gratification. Look at the story of Amnon and Tamar now. Immediately he slept with her. He was hated. That is, he has satisfied his desires, that strong desire he has satisfied it. Immediately, just short-term focus. So that thing that I say, this guy, he loves me. And most times I used to say, when I see a teenager, he said, this guy loves me. I used to say it in my mind that this guy lost you. That is L-U-S-T. He lost you. He does not love you. He doesn't. Because look at the kind of love, like the agape love. That is the kind of love that for teenagers should be practicing. So when you are now saying a teenager, you say, this guy, what do you know about love? Because eros, just like Coach Beldo said, is between what? Married couple, romantic love. So how can you now say, because most times when we check when teenagers or preteens, when you say a guy loves you, if you are talking about romantic love. So how is it? I used to say something that make sense. How is it like that? So you need to check. That's his characteristic. He does not love you. He lost you. You don't love her. You lost her. Because when you check it, you see that is that maybe a physical appearance that got you attracted, or it may even be a voice. That girl has a very tiny voice. Say, that guy, I like that girl. Why do you like her? Say, she has a very tiny voice. Is tiny voice enough? No. Tiny voice is not enough. Why do you like that? I just like a calm nature. All right, so let's move on. So, and the last one, other characteristics of lust is that chemical response. Lust triggers the release of chemicals like dopamine. Lust triggers the release of chemicals like dopamine, testosterone, and estrogen, which can create feelings of pleasure and excitement. You say, like I said, it's doing you gish. Those are dopamine. It's doing you gish. Your body is doing you tinini tanana. Right? So we need to be careful, right? We need to be careful. I hope you are listening to me. I hope you are hearing me. Motirayo and Abigail. We need to be careful, right? So define it, because most times, especially for teenagers, most times those feelings, when you check it deep down, you see that it is what? Romantic. And we don't need that now. Like I said, do not awaken love until it pleases. There's time to love. Yes, there's time to love. There is time to love. There is time to love. So you need to practice the right love. Coach Rachel that will be coming up soon, she wrote a book. You need to purchase that book. It's a very beautiful book. She did not send me, but you need to. All right, so there is a time to love, actually. So there is a time to love. So I want to just talk about quickly the effects of love. One of it from that Amna and Tamar story, we see that one of the effects of love is that, or the causes, what it can cause is rape. It is love that will cause a teenager or a preteen or an adolescent. It is lust, rather. It is lust that will cause a teenager or an adolescent or a preteen to go into pornography. It is lust. You are trying to satisfy what? A strong feeling of desire. And let me tell you this. Pornography, once we have had cases, we have had to deal with cases like this. Once those things are not easily, once you give, like I said, your eyes and your ears, they are gates. Once you give into those things, it is very, very hard to break out from those addictions, but you can break out from it. But it is very hard. So do not just put your hand or do not step into it. Guard your gates. Somebody should type it in the comments. Guard your gates, that I will guard my gates. My eyes and my ears, I will guard it. Lust also tends to, you see a lady walking, and then you're admiring her, they say figure eight. You're admiring, that's lust. Or you are strolling on phone, for those of us that are maybe teenagers, 18, 19, like that. You are scrolling on the phone, and then you just stumbled on social media. You just stumbled on somebody with, the opposite sex with a big bomb, and you are scrolling. That is the beginning. You are inviting lust. You are inviting lust. You're already knocking on the door. That's go. And once you begin to knock on the door, lust will come in. It will. Once you know, like I said, it is a gate. Once you don't guard your gates, you don't guard your eyes, you don't guard your ears to what you hear. Somebody's bringing gist. Do you see that fine girl? You say, do like this. Oh, wherever we are, just like this. See me. Are you seeing me? Just like this. And that girl is fine. Just like this. Because what? There is time to love. There is time to love. So just like this. When they are showing you, come and see. Just like this. Just you're not interested, because what? There is time to love. There is time. There is time for everything. And there's also time to love. Look at Amnon. That I was like, when I was reading the story, I was like, maybe this guy truly loved this girl. Only for it to lead to rape. That's another effect. It can cause rape. Lust can lead to rape, because it was a strong feeling of desire. A strong feeling of desire. Right? A strong feeling of desire. So it can lead to rape. It can also lead to masturbation, because you are trying to satisfy that feeling of, that strong feeling. It can lead to masturbation. You want to just, please yourself. It can. We have teenagers, we hear all the time, we have teenagers, preteens, battling with masturbation, battling with pornography. Why? They gave in to lust. We shouldn't be. They didn't guard their gates. So they said that I will guard my gates. My eyes, my ears, I will guard it. And like I said from the beginning, that we should be careful of our association. Be careful of the friends you keep. If we are still going to come there, I'll still tell us how to overcome lust. That's the last thing I'm going to talk about, how to overcome lust. It can also lead to obsession. You're obsessed. That you just see this person. Amnon's own was looking at obsession. Yes, we can call it obsession. He was so obsessed with Tamar. He was so obsessed with Tamar. But at the end of the day, we saw where it led to. He hated her. So that is to say, Amnon's supposed love, was actually lost. Because it was talking about the sensual qualities, the physical appearance and all. That's how to, identify it. So we need to be careful. Don't forget that I said that the key word when it comes to lust, the key word is bow. The key word is bow. There is a pressure to bow. There is a pressure to to bow. So we must be very, very careful. So I would like to talk about to us lastly how to overcome lust. Because you may be saying, hey, with all this thing that Coach D has said like this, hey, how will I guard myself? Okay, let's talk about it. Right? How to overcome lust. How not to be a victim of lust. Because we've seen the things that lust can cause. Because you are trying to awaken a strong feeling of desire that is not yet time. Now, how to overcome lust? The first thing is know when it is lost. Yes. Know when it is lost. That is being able to identify lust. From what Coach Beldu said, you will see that there is a difference. There's a clear difference between love and lust. So be able to identify it. And that's why you are receiving this word training. So you already know the characteristics of lust. So when you are having such experience, right? Because I said that our feelings are what? Right. So it now depends on what you now do with those feelings, where you allow those feelings to lead you to, that now determines whether it's now what's right or wrong. So know when it is lust, being able to identify it. And that's why I talked about the characteristics of lust. So you are no longer confused, right? The second thing is be truthful to yourself. Be truthful to yourself. Be truthful, yes. Because some people, they will be having that feeling. And then they say, they will just say, they will not want to be truthful to themselves. Be truthful to yourself that I'm feeling, there's something I do to myself all the time. I usually self-reflect as a person. When I'm feeling it, I'm having some, like, there are different type of emotions: sadness, happiness, joy, different type of emotions, anxiety, right? So when I'm feeling in a certain kind of emotion, for instance, maybe I woke up in the morning and I'm being joyful, I've just been so happy, in a happy mood, right, all through the day. And then towards the evening, I just saw that my mood just changed. Like we usually say mood swing. I just noticed that my mood just changed. I'm very, very, because I have practiced it over time. So I begin to name that emotion. You name it. So I practice it over time. So, and I say, when I just notice that something I just say, wait, I'll just sit down like this. I say, I'll be talking to myself. I say, Deborah, wait, what happened to you just now? What did you hear? Remember the gates. What did you hear? What did you see that changed your mood? I'll begin to ask myself that question. I used to have conversation with myself. I don't know if we have people in the house that usually, I don't know, maybe Moturai or Abigail. You do have conversation with yourself. You're just talking to yourself. Like I said, be truthful to yourself. Advise yourself. Right? I used to have conversation with myself. I'll just sit down and say, wait, come. Deborah, what happened to you? What did you hear? What did you see that changed your mood? Yes, I used to ask myself that question. So it may be, like I said, I've been joyful all day, and I just noticed that I'm just sad. I'll say, what did I hear? Maybe did I hear a bad news? Or did somebody try to get on my nerves and all? I'll just sit down and say, what made my mood to change all of a sudden? And I'll begin to run the analysis on it. That no, I wasn't like this before. I wasn't like this a few minutes ago. So yes, you must be truthful to yourself. When you begin to know that you're already eyeing this fine boy, say, this boy is fine, yo. It's not bad though to eye, but don't say, look lustfully. Just look and pass, normal looking. So when you begin to see that you are struggling with lust, ask yourself, sit down, have conversation. You're not too small to have conversation with yourself. Sit down. Me, I used to have conversation with myself. I can be on the road and I'm having meeting. I'm having meeting with me, myself, and I. We're having meeting. Yes, I do that. So I'll just say, wait, what did I even see just now? Yes, have a conversation with yourself that, what did you hear? What did you see? Right? That bring this feeling, that feeling of that strong desire, right? Ask yourself that question. Is it Folake in class? I don't know if there's any Folake. Is it Folake in class that came to tell me that so and so that now changed my mood? Sit down, name the emotion, sit down and have conversation. That is, be truthful to yourself. Don't be feeling that way and say, I'm not feeling that way. Don't try to cover up. Because when you cover up, you are You are not giving yourself to freedom. Right? So another one is define your values and what you stand for. How to overcome lust. Define your values early. You are not too small. That I stand for purity. Yes. You can define your values as me. So that when people even see you, they know that, okay, let me give us an instance. When I was in secondary school, I was the head girl in my secondary school. So in my class, even right from before I got to SS3, in my class from SS1, even from GSS class, yes, way back GSS class, I was that kind of girl. I was that kind of young girl. I'm still a young girl, right? So I'm that kind of girl. I'm that kind of girl that you can't try nonsense with. There were some students in my class, and there are some kind of guys in my class then that, they can just decide to play with you. They'll just be touching your body. They know that when it comes to Deborah, they can't try it. I was that firm. I knew you like that. I said, define your values. So that when you define your values, don't just, people will begin to say, when it comes to Motsunrayo, don't try that one. They already know. They know that this person is a no-go area. When it comes to Abigail, you can't try that one with her. I was like that. You can't try. And because of those kind of that's what they made me an head girl. Not that I was perfect, but they saw that there was something that the junior students could emulate from me. Right? So I just define my value as, no, you can't play rough play with me. That say, I'm just playing with you. No, don't try it. I will give you warning. Even till now. You can't just play rough play and just say, no, don't try it. Even till now, I find it hard to hug the opposite sex. Yes, that is me I'm still going to come to set your boundaries. I find it till now, like I said, I'm not married. Till now, I find it hard to hug, to feel comfortable and just be hugging the opposite sex. I find it very hard. That is me defining my values. And you can define yours too. Let people know that this is what you say. I will just give you an handshake. When you're opposite sex, I owe you a handshake. And they cannot say, come, like when you're not my father. I say, come and hug my daughter. No, I cannot come. Because I know that not everybody has a pure motive. Some just want to hug you so that they can feel your chest, they can feel your breasts. So you have to be very careful. I will say it as it is. We will say it as it is. We are coaches. We will say it as it is. You want to feel your breasts. They will not say, come, let me hug you. No, you must be very careful. Define your values and what you stand for. That when it comes to Motsunrayo, it comes to Deborah, it comes to Abigail, I cannot try rubbish. It's not until you give them, you want to fight them or give them blue. Even from the way you carry yourself, they're not, no, this person is a person of what? Purity, a person of what? Integrity, a person of what? Modesty. They know that they cannot try some certain things with you. Be that kind of girl. Be that kind of boy. Yes. That when it comes to this Benjamin, they cannot try this kind of thing with me. Benjamin, don't go near him. They cannot play rough play with you. Yes, be that kind of what? Teenager. Another one is what? Set boundaries, like I made an example. Set boundaries that if you're not my father, at this your age, set boundaries. You're not too young. If you're not my father or my blood brother, I will not hug you. Even say when you come, yes, because you have heard cases of uncles and aunties molesting children. It's real. So don't say, come and hug me. It's not by force. Be able to say, no, I cannot hug you. Why? Because what? I am protecting my gates. I am protecting myself. Coach Broderick talked about self-love. You are protecting yourself. Yes, I cannot hug you. Say, I cannot hug you. I can't hug you. You know, uncle, you said respectfully speaking, sir. I cannot hug you. Why? I'm protecting myself. I'm protecting my gates. When you do it once or twice, uncle will get it. So because we have had cases of uncles and aunties molesting boys and girls, family members. Yes. So protect your territory. Guard your territory. Because some people, not everybody has, the same set of pure motive towards you. Some people are seeing you and just like Amnon is seeing Tamar for sex. Some people are just seeing you and that's what they are seeing. So they're just going, let me just feel her chest. No, have standards. Set your standards. Don't just give in to anything. Don't just be any kind of anything goes kind of girl or boy. No, it shouldn't be. This is how to overcome lust. Because like I said, lust has led to pornography, rape, masturbation, and the rest. This is how to overcome it. Guard your territory. And have a commit. Another one is have a commitment statement. The things you won't do and the things you will do. I know of a very wise man. Apologies to the non-Christians. The man's name is Job. Job said that he has made a covenant. This one is a man that has asked children. He has made a covenant with his eyes, lest he look upon a maid. Have such commitment statements that you are committed. This is the last point here. Have such commitments that you are committed. That I will not look upon a maid. I will not look at a girl lustfully. Because I said I should not look at them. Now say girls are not coming out like this. No. or your teacher is coming. No, looking upon them lustfully. You can just look and you just move your eyes, and you can look lustfully, both male and female. So look, God, have commitment statement that these are the things I will do. From now henceforth, I'm committed to purity, that the bed will be undefiled, things like that. That I will not look at somebody lustfully. I will not look at the opposite sex lustfully. Even the same gender, like Coach Bello said, that we have gay now. We have lesbianism now. So it's not even a matter of only opposite sex. We have it now of the same gender. Right? That I will not look at them lustfully. Have commitment statements, things that you will do and things that you will not do. I won't do this. Oh, I'm committed. The things that you do. Oh, from now henceforth, I'm giving us our commitment statement in case you are confused. Oh, from now henceforth, I will begin to walk in purity. From now henceforth, I will begin to guard my gates, my eyes and my ears. From now henceforth, I will not hug the opposite sex, save my husband in the future, or my father or my brother, my blood brother. Those are commitment statements. Those are how to overcome loss. So that you not even bow to it. Because it was when like I said lastly, that when I talked about loss, I said that the last thing is what? Bow. There's a pressure to bow. So we need to be very careful. So if you have any question, when Coach Rachel is done, we'll put everything together. Good evening, everyone, once again. Coach Rachel, over to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach Deborah. What an insightful session. You see, I was listening intensely, like as if I'm also a teenager. Thank you so much, Coach Deborah. And thank you to Coach Biodun. Please let us go ahead in the comment section and drop thank you, Coach Deborah and Coach Biodun. Let us drop thank you to them. They've done justice to the topic of love and lost. So if you joined us late, you don't have a problem. This session is being recorded so that you can have access to the recording when it is ready. All right. So I will be taking the last session, which is crush. Remember, our topic is love, lost, and crush. Love, lost, and crush. Coach Biodun took love. Coach Deborah took lost. Now I'm taking crush. Yes, what is crush? So if you are still here together with me, let me see you type I am still here in the comment section. I am still here. I am still here. I want to see your comments in the comment section. I am still here. All right. What is crush? What is crush? Thank you very much. What is crush? Before I go into crush, I almost forgot to introduce myself. My name is Coach Rachel Henry. I am also a certified teenagers and adolescent coach and mentor. All right, having said that, what is crush? Let us dive right into the matter. Crush is also a strong feeling. It is just like love. It is just like lust, but there is a difference. All these emotions, they are strong feelings. That is why crush is also a strong feeling of attraction to someone. Crush can be an intense interest in someone. So when you are intensely interested in someone, it means you are having a crush on that person. Crush can be a physical attraction to someone, just like love and lust. I'll go ahead and tell us the differences as we go on. And crush can be an emotional connection to someone. All these are what crush is. So what is the psychology of crush? There is a psychology to crush. Crush is an emotion, just like the other ones that we mentioned earlier, love and lust. Crush is also an emotion. And emotions are feelings, just like Coach Deborah mentioned, that we have anger, we have sadness, we have joy. All these are emotions. That is why, that is how also crush is also an emotion. Emotions are feelings. Feelings are to be named. Coach Deborah already told us that she names her feelings, her emotions. When she's feeling moody, she names them. So it is something you can also start practicing. When you have an emotion, name that emotion. So when you start finding yourself as a teenager
your voice is low.
liking somebody, You start finding yourself feeling strong attraction to somebody. You need to name that emotion that you are feeling. Oh, you sit yourself down and say, oh, it's like I'm crushing over this person. I'm crushing over this person. Or this person is like, this person is crushing over me. Because crush can be two ways. Either it's from you or it's to you. So you sit yourself down and you name the emotion that you are feeling. And when you, after naming the emotion, the next step for you to do is to analyze that emotion that you have named. Okay, now I am feeling crush for this person. What do I do with this crush? Remember, it is not the emotion that is the problem. It is what you do with the emotion that is the problem. Somebody should put that in the comment section for me, please. It is not the emotion that is the problem. It is what you do with the emotion that is the problem. So you can like someone or love someone, you can lust after someone, you can crush after someone, but those are not the problems. When I have these emotions, what do I do with the emotion? That is the next most important question that I need to ask myself. So when I am crushing over someone, I have named that emotion. I don't need to lie to myself, because when I lie to myself, I am doing myself no good. So I tell myself, oh, I am crushing over someone. Because as humans, we must have these emotions. It is normal, it is natural. So that is why the emotion is not the problem. What you do with the emotion is the problem. Are you going to manage the emotion, or you are going to let this emotion get you all worked up? Or you are going to allow this emotion to get you into a place where you do not want to be? Or you are going to allow this emotion to get you into trouble? Because you can crush on someone and you crush on someone and you crush on someone and you land in trouble. At that point, the eyes will now clear. Like we say in pidgin, eye go clear. When you don't enter trouble finish, eye go come clear. Permit me to use pidgin English to explain that one. Do we get now? So you need to control the emotion that you are feeling. Remember, I said the emotion is not the problem. There's nothing wrong with the emotion, but it is now left for you to decide, what am I going to do with this emotion? The best thing for you to do is to control that emotion. Control that emotion. Now, I'll tell us about the psychology of crush. I'll tell us about the psychology of emotions. Now, in the human brain, according to psychologists, in the human brain, there are different subdivisions of the brain. But for the purpose of this class, for the purpose of this discussion, we'll be looking at two main subdivisions of the brain, of the human brain, especially the teenage brain. Now, as a teenager, your brain is divided basically into two sections. We have the prefrontal cortex and we have the amygdala. The prefrontal cortex and the amygdala. Your prefrontal cortex is that part of your brain that is responsible for reasoning, for thinking, for analyzing, for decision making, all those kind of serious thinking things. It is your prefrontal cortex that is in charge of it. Now, here is the thing. Your prefrontal cortex as a teenager is not yet fully developed. I'll come again. Your prefrontal cortex as a teenager is not yet fully developed. Then the other part of your brain, the second part of your brain, which is the amygdala, that one is responsible for emotions, for feelings. That is the part of your brain that is responsible for emotions and feelings. Now, that part of your brain, your amygdala, is more developed than your prefrontal cortex. I'll come again. Your amygdala is more
All right. I think Coach Rachel's network is acting up. So she was talking about the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. So she was saying that the prefrontal cortex is the brain that is responsible for logic, reasoning, and it's not yet developed in teenagers. I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me, everybody?
Yes, my can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So amygdala is the brain for emotions. That is the one that has developed now. But for prefrontal cortex, which is the brain for the side of the brain for reasoning, is yet to be developed. It takes 25 years of age before that one can fully develop.
All right, I think Coach Rachel is back. So Coach Rachel, over to you, ma. So sorry for the network. We can't hear you.
Sorry about the break in transmission. Let us go ahead. So as
Okay,
I
okay,
was
she's
saying,
back. She's back.
yes, I'm back. Sorry about the break in transmission. I'm back. Yeah. So as I was saying, in the amygdala, it is responsible for emotions and feelings. So your amygdala as a teenager is more developed than your prefrontal cortex. Your amygdala is more developed than your prefrontal cortex. That is why you find out as a teenager, you do things more based on your emotions. You react more based on your emotions. You hardly take time to think about things that you want to do. Emotions push you more than reasoning and logic. That is why I usually tell teenagers, when someone offends you, when someone annoys you, maybe a friend or a classmate, the likely thing for you to do as a teenager is to react in annoyance, is to react back in annoyance by either slapping the person or pushing the person or getting into a fight or something. That is a normal response for a teenager because your emotions part of your brain is more developed than your thinking and reasoning part of your brain. All right. So it doesn't mean that fighting, I'm not saying fighting and quarreling is okay, don't misquote me. But what I'm trying to say is that you tend to do things more with your emotions than your logic. So now, remember, we are setting the foundation, that we are laying the background now. So that is when I say that your emotions, you do things more with your emotions. It is because your amygdala is more developed. Now, remember we said that love and lust and crush, they are all emotions. Remember, we have already laid that foundation. Crush, lust, love, they are all emotions. Now you know that as a teenager, you do things more, your emotions part of your brain is more developed. So you do things without thinking very well, without thinking them through, without properly analyzing them. That is why you are a teenager. Now, if you now carry this crush on your head and say, I'm crushing over somebody, I'm crushing over somebody, and you now go ahead and do something wrong, and you now go ahead and allow this crush to let you make a mistake, by the time you will sit down and start using your prefrontal cortex to analyze, you will see that you have messed up. You will see that you have landed in mistake. So that is why you do not allow emotions to control you. Do not allow your emotions to control you. Always be in charge of your emotions. Remember what I said earlier. It is not the emotion that is the problem. The problem is what you do with the emotion. What do you do with the emotion? That is the problem. It is not the emotion that is the problem. What am I going to do with the emotion? That is the problem. That is the big question that you need to ask yourself. All right. What to do when you're having a crush on someone? Number one, we already talked about that. You analyze your emotions. Analyze your emotions. Number two, you focus. You focus. Drag yourself to sit down and think. Force yourself to think. Force yourself to be focused. Focus on the important things. this crush I'm having, how is it going to help me? How is it going to help my life? Or how is it going to destroy my life? Is it going to destroy my life? You need to focus and analyze. Put things in perspective. Talk to yourself, like Coach Deborah said. Ask yourself serious questions. The next point is that you do not obsess when you're having a crush on someone, because crush can make you not to focus. A crush can make you not to focus. And then you start obsessing. So do not obsess over the person. Do not obsess over the person. Someone said my audio is not very loud, but I hope you can hear me better now. Do not obsess over the person. And do not idealize the person, because when you are crushing on someone, you start painting the person as a perfect human being. You start painting the person as if the person is perfect, as if the person is the best, the most handsome, the most beautiful. It means you are obsessing and you are idealizing. So when you're having a crush on someone, don't obsess, don't idealize. Don't turn the person to become an idol. Then another thing you can do when you are having a crush on someone is that you can talk to a trusted adult. You can talk to a trusted adult. Now, a trusted adult is an adult that you know has sound morals, has sound values, someone that, in short, has sense. Because not all adults can be trusted with emotional issues. So you need to find out the kind of adult that you want to go and be telling your feelings to. So that, number one, so that they don't take advantage of you. If they are some kind of adult, they might want to take advantage of you. Or if it is an adult that is not morally or not emotionally sound themselves, they can misquote you or give you the wrong advice. So you need to find out the trusted adult that you can talk to. Now, what do you do when someone is crushing on you? Because you can crush on someone and someone can crush on you. So what do you do when someone is crushing on you? Number one, you define your boundaries. Coach Deborah has already talked about that. Define your boundaries. Set boundaries. When someone is crushing on you, maybe your classmates, the person has made it clear that they like you, you need to set your boundaries. Yes, you like me, but you don't have the right to touch me. You don't have the right to touch my body. It is my body. Yes, you like me and we can be platonic friends, the agape friend that Coach Biodun talked about. Yes, we can maintain that, but not eros love. I hope we were paying attention when Coach Biodun was speaking. Not eros love. So you define your boundaries from the onset, and you make sure that the person understands what it is that you are talking about. Are we together? Define your boundaries. Focus. Do not get carried away. So when you see someone crushing on you, don't get carried away and say, I've seen somebody. I've gotten somebody that will be buying me things. I've gotten somebody that will be doing everything I want for me. Don't get carried away. Because you can end up in trouble if you don't control your emotions, if you allow your emotions to get the better part of you. Remember, I said define your boundaries. And you can also talk to a trusted adult. Remember to always confide in a trusted adult. Now, warning. There's a warning here now. Watch what you feed your mind. Watch what you feed your mind. Deborah talked about the eye gates and the ear gates. Watch what you watch. Pay attention to what you listen to. Some of us teenagers, the kind of music we listen to, they are erotic music. Music that they are talking about sex all the time. What is your business and your association with that kind of music at your age now? Don't forget that the kind of thing that you allow into your mind ends up controlling your subconscious. The kind of thing that you consume ends up controlling how you think and how you reason. So watch what you feed your mind. And I'll also say watch the kind of friends that you keep. Watch the associations that you keep, because they can land you into trouble, especially for the boys, even the girls. Because some of the troubles that teenagers get into, it is just because of peer pressure. It is because of peer pressure. So watch the kind of
Hello, everyone.
All right. Okay. So sorry for the network glitch. All right. So can we hear me? Can we hear me, please?
Yes.
Yes, you can hear you.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, so thank you so much for staying till this time. So she was talking about watching the association you keep. Just like the way I explained further for Lost. Also, you need to also watch your association when it comes to crush, because it's fine, right? Because you can control your own emotion, but you cannot control another. You cannot help somebody else. You cannot help somebody to control his or her own emotions, right? So you need to watch just like she was saying, that you need to watch your association. You need to. Okay, she's back.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach Deborah. Thank you. Don't mind my network, okay? So I'm rounding up now. You need to watch the kind of friends that you keep, and do not bow to peer pressure. Do not bow to peer pressure at all. You should be the one pressuring them with your sound morals, not them pressuring you with their fake and bad morals, immorals. Who should be pressuring who? You that has sound morals should be pressuring them, not the other way around. So do not allow friends to push you into making wrong mistakes. Yes, thank you very much. A crutch can make you not to focus. Thank you for that. And do not allow the thrill of adventure to derail you. Because most of the things teenagers do is because they just want to experiment. They just want to try new things to see how it will be. Don't forget that after that emotion is something, but beyond that emotion, there are other things lined up waiting for you. So if you allow your emotion to control you, if you allow this crush to control you, if you do not contain it, if you do not put boundaries in place, there are some things waiting for you beyond the line of that crush. Things like unwanted pregnancy that Coach Biodun talked about, things like STDs and HIV, things like your education being stopped, so many bad things, even for the boys. So they are not left out. So don't let the crush to control you. I want you to type in the comment section that I will crush. I will crush. I will crush. It's a tongue twister. I will crush. As you are saying it, as you are typing it, it's getting into your subconscious. Type it there. I want to see it. I will crush. I will crush. I will crush. Just type it there as we are rounding up. All right. We are trying to stick to time, and we don't want to overshoot our time. So we have come to the end of this webinar, Love, Lust, and Crush webinar. And we said earlier that if you have questions, thank you very much for the thumbs up. Thank you. I can see. Thank you so much. So if you have questions, you can drop your questions in the comment section. Drop your questions in the comment section, and all our coaches are on standby to answer your questions. Remember that some questions that you might not be able
All right, can we hear me? I think Coach Rachel network is. So yes, I'm seeing a very beautiful comment that I find interesting here. And she says that crush your crush so that your crush doesn't crush you. Wow, amazing. Even me, I'm laughing here. Yeah, so crush your crush. So who gave us that? Who gave us, I think I'm seeing Olayinka. Olayinka says that crush your crush so that your crush doesn't crush you. Yeah, so we need to crush our crushes. So that our crush will not crush us. So very important. Yeah, so if we have questions, let's drop our questions. Yeah, so okay, your name is Anu. Yes, I wanted to ask if the name of the user is Olayinka indeed. All right, so Anu, thank you so much for that. Thank you for telling us to crush our crush so that our crush doesn't crush us. All right, so yes, if you have questions, just like Coach has said, let's do all to answer. Let's do all to ask rather. So Coach over to you.
Yes, thank you, Coach Deborah. If you have questions, drop them in the comment section. I can't see any question. If you've typed your question before, kindly highlight your question so that I can see it. I saw a question before for Coach Biodun. I saw a question before. It says, if my friend is having a loving someone, these are pre-teenagers talking. He said, if my friend is loving someone and I try to tell my friend and my friend does not listen, what can I do? That question is to Coach Biodun. Coach Biodun, are you with us? Are you nearby? Coach Biodun, if my friend is loving someone, and we are using the love now in quotes. If my friend loves someone and I've tried to talk to my friend and my friend does not listen, what can I do? That is a question from one of our pre-teenagers. Okay, Coach Biodun is here. Over to you, ma.
Okay. Can we really call that love or lust?
That's why I said
Because
love in
at this
quotes.
level, it depends on your definition of that love. I've given you the definition of love and I've given you the different kinds of love. So it depends. Is the person loving? Are we saying that the person is loving an opposite sex in quotes? Because at
Yes,
your
yes.
stage, if you are yes, at your stage, if you are talking about eros, that's romantic love. That is lost indeed, guys, at your level. So, as Coach Rachel said, let your light shine. Use your own light to pressure them. Continue to talk to the person and make the person see reasons. Sometimes when you are talking to somebody that don't do this, don't do this, if you don't tell the person the consequences, you have learnt in this class now the consequences of lust or loving wrongly. That is having this kind of errors. That's romantic love, which is supposed to be between a husband and a wife. You should also tell them the consequences of having that kind of love. You understand what I'm saying? I said it, that it can make you lose yourself. It can make you have high expectations that somebody of your age cannot even help you, for that matter, at this kind of time that you are in, because you still have a very, very long way to go in life. So you need to continue to talk to the person concerning it. And if there is an adult, like if the person is in your school, maybe your classmate, your colleague, your schoolmate, you can talk to your school counselor or just confide in your teacher about it, so that at least an adult can also talk to the person in that line. I hope I've been able to answer that question.
Right. Thank you so much, Coach Biodun. Thank you so much, Coach Biodun. I can see some questions already. And I think we're having a lot of questions. So we're having a lot of crushes questions. I think let me see if I can. Okay. So they say it is not bad to have a crush because it is a short period thingy or how is it pronounced now? All right. So is it really advisable? Yeah, so I want to state again that just like I want to state again, just like I have said before, that just like Coach Rachel has said, crush, crush is all this crush, love, lust, they are under emotions, right? They are under emotion. And we must be careful what you do. It's like when you are having crush, they say it's not bad. When you're having crush, it's like you're playing with fire. When you're having crush, because that crush, you say you're having crush, you will see that, check the end point of that crush, you will see that it is lost. And we already talked about lost. Because what made that crush your crush? You see that it's either, this boy is fine, yo, Abby, or this girl, she fine, yo. Has to do with physical appearance. That crush, when you check it, you see that. That's why we are talking about this topic, love, lust, and crush. You see that when you check that crush, check the end point, check the motive behind it, check the roots of it. You will see that it's lost, not love. You see that it's actually lost. Because is that maybe the person's appearance appeal to you? You see that the person's appearance appeal to you. Oh, this boy is fine. This boy is tall. Like we usually say, tall, dark, and handsome, TDH. This boy is tall, this boy is dark, this boy is handsome. Check it. You may say you are crushing on this person, or you have this crush. Most times, even crush leads to situationship. Why is it? It's just my friend. Do you know what is situationship? Let me tell us what is situationship. Situationship is like a relationship, but situationship, let me tell you, you now begin to see they are doing everything people are doing. The boy is checking up on you. Have you eaten? You are just close with this person. You are so attached with this person. Meanwhile, you now at the long run, even adults fall for this situationship. Unmarried adults, they fall for this situationship. And then at the long run, when you now begin to see that a situationship, they will not tell you situationship. They'll say they don't know. It's complicated. When you now check, you now begin to hear questions like, what are we? Because it is what situationship is simply an undefined relationship. So when those people are telling you that you should have crush, they are telling you to go into an undefined relationship. And most times this leads to heartbreak. Yes, we talked about other things like other lust, talk about rape and the rest. This one leads to heartbreak. They will have you breakfast. I forgot to mention it. They say there's something that we want to mention heartbreak now. They say it's breakfast. They will serve you breakfast, hot breakfast, because you that are saying your friend that is telling you to go to have a crush, you see that it's not only you that is in his crushing circle. He has like 3 or 4 other girls that he's crushing on. So the attention is given to you, is also given to them. Do not be deceived. Like I said, be truthful to to yourself. Do not be deceived. Oh, yes, do not be deceived. And like I said earlier, that was a wise man said that was, do not awaken love until it pleases. There is a time to love. Are we together? Those things that are saying that crush is a natural thing, is an emotion, is an hormonal thing. They will give crush different names. Is hormonal. That's why I said that those feelings are under emotion, just like Coach Rachel said. It is valid, but don't give in to it. There is time to what? Crush. That there's actually time to what? Love, rather. There is time to love. There is time to admire. Right? There's time to admire. Because those crush, it can lead to situationship. Undefined relationship. Situationship, like I said, situationship is what? An undefined relationship. Before you say, what are we? But you have been giving your investment, because emotion is an investment. You are investing your emotion. So you are beginning an investment. I say, what are we? It leads to, they will serve you all breakfast. Now you are saying crush is not a bad thing. Now let me tell you why it is. Because now think about it. Like I said, and when you check crush, the root analysis, the root of it is lost. Right? Something attracted you to that person. Now that's why you feel that this person is worthy of you being crushed on. Or this person is being worthy, or this person is worthy of being crushed on. Something attracted you. Maybe the person's look, tall, dark, and handsome, TDH. I usually say, hey, he must be tall, he must be dark, he must be handsome. Check it, he's lost. He's lost. So it leads to situationship. You now begin to ask, what are we? You are investing your time. And like I said, be rest assured that it is not only you that is on that girl or boy's crush list. They are crushing on 2 or 3 other people. It may even be a celebrity that they may never meet in their entire life. that they are crushing on. Because that's what we see those times. You are crushing on a celebrity. This guy, the day I will just see this celebrity, is a lie. It's not that he's doing you gish gish, but it's a lie. Because then you see the celebrities, they have bouncers around him that will bounce you out. So let's be truthful to ourselves, right? So be careful. They say crush is a natural. They want to try to. They say teenagers are always used to crushing. No, that's why I told you that set boundaries. I and Coach Rachel have talked about boundaries. Even Coach Biodu mentioned about set boundaries. Have your what commitment statement. Have your values. Define your values and what you stand for. They say this thing. It will lead to situationship, and situationship is even worse. Yes, it's worse. Situationship is very worse. Because you have invested your years. The guy is giving you attention. Even when you grow up, a guy is just giving you unnecessary attention. Even as I am like this, an opposite sex is giving me attention. He's calling me. Have you eaten? I'll say, oh, God, come. What are we? Why are you calling me? Are you my mother? Are you my brother? Why are you checking up on me? What do you want? Because you must not go into a relationship. The reason why you are going to go into a relationship is you are ready for marriage. That's the ideal kind of relationship. Even not to waste your time. When you are ready for marriage, that's when you should go into a relationship. Are you ready to ask yourself, am I ready to marry now? At age 12 or at age 13 or at age 14? Are you ready to marry now? Even me in my 20s, I'm still asking myself, am I ready now? You must ask yourself. Right? You must ask yourself, are you ready to marry now? So why crush? Why waste that emotion? Why? Because like I said, emotion is an investment, great investment. And that's why you see that when people face heartbreak, they serve them breakfast, like we usually say, hot or cold. Anytime that they serve them, they usually cry because they've invested their emotion. So crush is you investing your emotion. That's why we say that we should guard your gates, your eyes and your ears. So over to, I don't know, I'm seeing some questions concerning crush. So let me check some questions. Okay, too much of self-obsession. I just want to know if it's a good thing. Okay, too much of self-obsession. Is under Coach Biodu's topic. Take self-love, yes. So too much of self-obsession. Over to you, Coach Biodu.
Okay, like I mentioned earlier, yes, it's good to self-love. But when it becomes an obsession, that means you become selfish. Anything too much, I mentioned that anything too much is bad. You must be able to put everything in moderacy. When you begin to obsess with yourself, that means whatever is going on around you does not matter to you. Is the only thing that matters to you is for you to be satisfied, is for you to be okay. Whether other people are feeling bad about it or that thing is going to affect other people negatively, it doesn't concern you. No, obsession is not good. So like we said, you need to take caution. You need to caution yourself. By the time you notice that if something is not working my way, then I'm not happy about it, then you need to caution yourself and make sure that everything you are being fair. Just be fair. Be fair to everybody. Self-love, but be fair to everybody. Make sure that you are not being selfish. And when you discover that you are being selfish, you need to be, like they said, you need to name your emotions. By the time you are obsessed with yourself, you know that, oh, I'm being obsessed with myself, and it should not be like that. So you need to be able to apply caution. Do some things intentionally. You understand? Be fair to everybody around you, and do it intentionally, so that at least you'll be able to apply moderacy and everybody around you will be okay, while you are okay. Have I answered that question?
All right. Thank you so much, Coach Biodu. I think I'll leave Coach Rachel to answer this one. I'm seeing here since he's back. He says, so what if you like someone, you have a crush on the person? Should you tell the person? If yes, what the person uses it against you and make you feel bad for liking the person, but you actually told the person for the person to know and not like for him to date you? So let Coach Rachel answer that.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach Deborah, for that question. So before I go into that question, I want to inform us that there is actually a mentorship program that is coming up. All right, put together by all the coaches that you have listened to this evening. A mentorship program is coming up that is going to last you for, Coach Deborah, how many days is our mentorship program going to last us? It's going to last us
30 days.
Ma?
30 days.
30 days. You heard it right. So
All
that it will
through
not be only
April.
me that is telling you. You think I'm lying. A 30 days mentorship program put together specially for you, preteens and teenagers, because all these questions, you can't ask all your questions today. After this class, you are going to go back and you are going to remember more questions. You are going to remember more situations and circumstances and instances that you need more light on. And in that mentorship, you are going to have one-on-one access to all three of us coaches. So you can ask us any issue that is bothering your mind at all, or some challenges that you are having. We are going to hold you by the hand for a whole 30 days of one-on-one mentorship for you guys. So because you are on this call, in this group, there's going to be a discount specially for you. But for those outside, they're not going to enjoy that discount. But because you partook in this webinar, you are going to enjoy that discount. And all the details of that mentorship program is going to be dropped on the group for us. All right. The question is, if I love someone, I'm crushing on someone, should I tell the person? What if the person uses it against me and the person don't want to date me? So at your 11 years, 10 years, 12 years, you are thinking of dating the person already. It means you have not been paying close attention to what all the coaches have been saying. Remember, we told you that the emotion is not the problem. What do you do with that emotion? You like that person, good and fine. That is not a problem. What do you now do? Are you going to allow yourself to get into trouble because of that emotion? You yourself, you started analyzing. What if the person uses it against you? What if the person go and tell all his friends, and when you are passing, all of them, you know how boys can be. They will just gather and be laughing at you. Will you want to go to school again? Look at the situation. Deborah talked to us about situationship. Look at the situationship you have put yourself into because of you allow the crush to control you. You can have agape love for someone. You can have platonic love for someone. Platonic love is the one that it does not involve romance at all. Agape love does not involve romance at all. So you can like the person, no problem. You can start moving closer to the person, not with the crush ahead of you, but with your sound mind. You can start becoming friends with the person. You will not go and meet the person and say, I'm crushing on you. You are looking for trouble like that. You start becoming friends with the person. You start doing assignments together. You start maybe trekking home together. You set your boundaries. You know, we talked about setting boundaries.
Okay, it's like Coach Rachel's it's like our networkers is having issues again. So as she was saying concerning crush, it's natural for you to like somebody. Do you understand? But you should be able to define that love. You should not allow that love to degenerate into lust, whereby you'll be doing all sorts of things together. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you don't have to tell that person. Just know in your mind that, okay, I like this person, but that does not mean that you should go and be broadcasting it about, because you are still going to meet a lot of people that you like, or let me say you love, so to say. You are still in your secondary school. You are still going to get to higher institution. You are going to like more persons. At the end of the day, at the end of your secondary school, you and that person may not even meet again. You may still meet and you may not meet again, but just know that it's not the right time for you to start dating anybody at your stage. So whatever will help you to like stop crushing on that person, definitely you can do it for yourself. You don't need to start broadcasting it everywhere, because if you like this person today, tomorrow you like another person, day after tomorrow another person again. Is that how you start telling them, all of them, that, oh, I love you, I'm crushing on you, I like you, I'm crushing on you? Nobody will take you serious. So the best kind of love at your stage, at your age, is the platonic relationship, which is filial. I don't know if I mentioned filial. Filial is a relationship between you and your friend and your I'm saying classmates now, like you are in higher institution. I don't know, maybe some of us are in higher institution, like your colleagues, like your friends in school. The kind of love you should have for them is filial love, which is just platonic relationship, or agape love, which is unconditional. So you don't need to tell that person. Why? Because you are still going to like more persons in the future, especially when the person now offends you, you start liking the person. So please, you don't have to tell anybody anything like that. Just maintain a good relationship with them. That's what I would say concerning that. Then somebody is saying here that my friends say having boyfriend is normal. It's just to set boundaries. How do you want to set boundaries when you start saying that this one is my boyfriend? On a norms, the meaning of boyfriend should be a male friend, a girlfriend. A girl can have another girl as girlfriend. A boy can have a girl as girlfriend, not as in having a romantic relationship like the one you are asking about here. It is not normal. It is not something good at your stage. You cannot set any boundary. You cannot set any boundary. So the best kind of love is just for you to have a platonic relationship with your colleagues, your friends, whether opposite or same sex. So tell that your friend that is telling you that she can set boundaries. How long can you set boundaries? When you say that somebody is my boyfriend, he has a special place in my heart, or this one is my girlfriend, she has a special place in my heart, that means you start giving that person preferential treatment, which can lead to something else. Remember, your prefrontal cortex is not yet developed. You are driven by emotions. So there is no, you cannot set any boundary. So far you started creating relationship with somebody, there is no boundary to set. The best thing for you to do is not to go into it at all, so that you will not be bound by that relationship, or you be expecting too much from that person. Do we understand now? So I think that's the answer to that question. Another person is saying that, okay, let me see if there are other questions here. Yeah, this person is saying that, I think avoiding, yes, you can avoid that person if you feel that you are, by getting too much closer to that person, it can be a trigger to you. Whatever will trigger you, for you are already crushing on somebody, whatever will trigger that emotions more in you, please avoid it in totality. Avoid it. If it's to set boundaries, if it's just to say hi to the person in the morning so that it will not be as if you are fighting with the person, if it's that by the time you get closer to the person you feel more, that emotion comes out more, then please avoid it. Whatever will trigger you, whatever will trigger that emotions more, please avoid it. So I agree with you. But for some other persons who feels that, okay, if I get closer to this person, then I may not be thinking in that line again, then do what works for you. What will work for A may not work for B, but our results, or the outcome of our actions, is what matters. If your own outcome, if you can get your own outcome by avoiding having anything to do with that person, please do everything possible to avoid that person. And if you feel that, oh, by the time I get close to this person, I will not think about that kind of thing again, then please do it. Just make sure that you are not in a situationship. You are not bound by any law to treat anybody with preferential, to give anybody a preferential treatment. Just as Coach Deborah has said, make sure you are not in a situationship. Do we understand? Any other?
All right.
I think
So
we are done with
thank
the
you.
question.
Thank you so much, Coach Gordon. I just let me add this. I just feel I should say this. Okay, so first is that I would like to say that for everyone here, every teenager hearing me, I feel you, I celebrate you, and I want you to know something. I'm here to tell us that modesty, having morals, is sweet. Yes, let me put it that way. Having morals is the best. Good morals is the best. Well, I'm going to share something with you. You see, there is a pride. There is a pride that comes with the fact that I used to tell my mom something, and I used to tell my friends that usually, my friends, I usually tell them something that in the area where I grew up, and which I am still in, the area where I grew up, where I had my, senior secondary school, I can boldly walk around the streets. I can boldly walk around, right? Without somebody pointing to me and saying, without a guy pointing to this, or even a lady or a woman pointing to me and saying, you see this girl, she has dated she has dated the old guys in this area. How will it even sound to you? That you cannot walk with pride in your area or in your school and saying, see, these things are subtle. It may look enticing, right? It may look enticing, actually, but these things are actually very subtle. I wanted to quote a proverb to us. A proverb says that stolen waters is refreshing. Food eaten in secret tastes the best. But little do they know that the dead are there. Our guests are in the depths of the grave. See, like I said, that stolen waters, this scripture says that stolen waters is the best. It's refreshing. It may look enticing to you now that, no, this thing is sweet. This thing is interesting. Let me have a boyfriend. But have you thought about the consequence? That you are going and then you can go with straight and people are not looking at you with one eye and say, say this girl, this one that is not well mannered. This one that is this. The pride of you going and then people can respect you. When you set boundaries, people will begin to respect you, both young and old. People of your peers will begin to respect you. So those people that are saying that boyfriend is normal, have you thought about it? Just like Coach Bedu said that it is just, see, your period with that person is just for an appointed time. Are you aware that after SS3, he may go to Kaduna for Kaduna University. You may be in a Covenant University, right? And then you are in two different places. He has moved on with his life. But those investments, like I said, emotion is an investment. Don't go into it. It's not that maybe, see, there are sometimes that it is interesting. People are having, but like I said, that lust, the key word in lust is what? Bow. There's a pressure to bow. So you may find yourself in those pressure to bow, but define your values, what you stand for. That others may, I cannot. That's one of the things I told myself when I was growing up. Others may, I cannot. So those things that it may be normal to them to have boyfriend, but for me it's not normal. Because I know that what emotions is an investment. And I don't want to go in the street, I'm walking in the street, or I'm passing around and then I cannot even walk boldly. I'm covering my face because of past experience of crushes and boyfriends with a particular person. It doesn't make any sense to me. Right? That cannot, and this boy will say, this girl, no. Because that person that is saying that you just set boundaries, let me tell you, it's a lie. You want to have boyfriend and set boundaries, is a lie. That you just have to say, is a lie. Is a lie. Like my mom will always say that in a club, they take the enter dance. Yes. For those that may want to watch that, now clap. Before you know, you start clapping, you have already started dancing. That's the truth. You cannot be in a boyfriend, girlfriend, and you want to set boundaries. It's a lie. You will not concentrate. You will lose focus. It's a lie that you say. It's a lie that you see this person, and then there is not. You say, let us have our privacy. You may be in school, He said, let us go to the biology lab. Let us go to the chemistry lab. Let's go to the home economics lab and just be alone. From there, the guy is touching you. Is that boundary? Are you still setting boundaries? Is the boundary still available? No. From there, the guy is holding you. Is that boundaries? It's not boundaries. Let's not lie. That's why I said one of the ways to overcome loss is to what? Be truthful to yourself. Others can tell you lie, but you yourself, you know yourself. So be truthful to what? Yourself. Be truthful to yourself. I don't know if there's any other question. Be truthful to yourself. Like, okay, I saw someone here say it is better to avoid the person at the period of serious crush. Doing things together. You say you are reading, all in the name of crush. You are reading with your crush. Which book are you reading? All through the book that you are looking at the guy's lip, you are looking at the guy's face. Is that reading? You have lost concentration. And just like what Coach Rachel said, that crush will make you lose what? Focus. Now back to the 30 days mentorship is a paid training. Yes, it's a paid training, 30 days, and it's actually 20,000 naira. But for those of us that partook in this Valentine's training, we're giving us a 5K discount within 72 hours, because all through the month of April, we are going to be holding our hands, every teenager. So all the questions that you have always wanted to ask, don't be able to shy to ask your parents, because some children cannot confide in their parents. If you are shy to ask your parents, your teachers, because of fear of being judged, maybe they'll judge you or something, bring it, we'll answer it. You have a one-on-one session with us. Yes, we'll talk, one-on-one. So you can ask us questions, and then it's going to be talking about building self-esteem. They're going to self-discovery, identity awareness. Because when you know your identity, when you know who you are as a person, you will not be giving out it. You are heading somewhere. You have I say something that is only NFA. There's something called no future ambition. If you have ambition, you have a focus. When you come, you have I know where I am heading to. So I will not allow crushes, because somebody said that when you crush, your crush can crush you. When you know where you are heading to, right? You say, this one is a distraction. You begin to see those crush as a distraction, as having boyfriend and girlfriend as a distraction, and not as a normal thing. The normal thing at this time is what? Loving people, loving your parents, having platonic, like friendship kind of love, knowing yourself, giving yourself those skills, building resilience. Yes, unlocking your potential, becoming the best version of yourself should be the normal thing for you now. Not having crushes and crush, and so that it is very, very important. It's very key. So we are going to be walking you through. And there's discounts for maybe 2 children or 3 children. There is discounts. Instead of maybe 20K, there's discounts for you. Yes, we are going to have a subsidized rate for those that maybe you are a family of 3, like that, or a family of 2, or a family of 4. And you are going to have discount. There's discounts for those people. And then you can also pay instrumentally. You can pay a commitment fee. Like the money is 20,000 naira. Maybe you cannot make the 15,000 naira payments within 72 hours. You can also pay instrumentally. You can pay 10,000 naira before the beginning of the training, April 1st, and maybe before the ending of April. Of course, you should be able to, before mid-April rather, you'll be able to pay the rest. So it is so that we are doing this so that people, teenagers can what? Because when you are building yourself, you know yourself. Because at the end of that 30 is mentorship. I'm mentoring you for 30 days straight. I'm going to be in your face. Coach D is going to be your face. Coach Bjorn is going to be your face. Coach Rachel is going to be in your face for 30 good days. We're going to be mentoring. When you are resuming third term, you are resuming with fire. You are resuming with another, that's they say a new me. Yes, you are resuming with a new you. So there's going to be what? There's instrumental payments. Your parents can make a commitment fee of 10,000 naira while they, pay the remaining 10,000 naira just to show a commitment that actually we want our children to be a part of this, but we may not have the full payments now, which is fine. Like I said, if you are 2 or 3 together, there's also a discount for that too. So just reach out to any of us on, on this. If you feel that this is something, so inform mommy, inform daddy, that daddy, I would love to be a part of this. You're talking about how to be raising sensible and self-reliant things. I'm going to talk about building your self-esteem, knowing your self-worth, knowing who you are. That nobody can come and talk to you anyhow. We are going to teach you all those things. practically. We're going to be practical with you. We're going to be as honest as possible with you. So we're going to walk you through 30 good days, not 1 day, not 2, not 14 days, 30 good days straight, back to back impartation. So I don't want to miss this. So yes, thank you all so much for joining this free training, and a very, very big shout out again to your amazing, amazing, amazing parents. Yes, to amazing parents. So thank you so much. Coach Rachel, I don't know if Coach Rachel is on the call. All right, I don't know if Coach Rachel has
Thank you
anything
very
to say.
much, everyone, for joining. Thank you.
Thank you so much for
Thank you to all the
joining.
coaches. Thank you to all the parents.
Thank you, coaches. Thank you, parents. Thank you, Moturayo, Abigail, Anu. Thank you for joining. We love you. I love you. Mwah.
We
Yes,
celebrate and honor you
bye.
all.
We love you. We celebrate you.